As the days of July dwindled down to a precious few for the Fordham University football players, thoughts turn to the start of summer camp, which begins on August 2nd. But before camp starts, the Rams have a few final days of their summer conditioning program, and for the second straight year, they have decided to utilize the time to help raise funds for their Uplifting Athletes chapter.
Elbows, you head around, use those arms. Ready, go! Fast feet, fast hands, fast arms, there we go. Finish.
The Rams started out the day on Jack Coffey Field with some running drills before moving into the weight room of the Walsh Athletic Training Center to start their Lift for Life fundraiser through their Uplifting Athletes chapter. Uplifting Athletes is a national nonprofit organization that aligns college football with rare disease research. There are currently 21 Uplifting Athlete chapters nationwide, including Penn State, Notre Dame, Boston College, Nebraska, and Northwestern. Each chapter has adopted one of nearly 7,000 rare diseases that collectively affect close to 30 million Americans. The Fordham Uplifting Athlete chapter was formed last year under the leadership of Andrew Milmore, Daniel Avedisian, and James Avedisian, and they identified pediatric brain cancer research, specifically extrarenal rhabdoid tumors, as their rare disease. It was an easy choice for the Rams to decide on a rare disease, as just prior to forming the chapter, the Rams adopted Ty Campbell, a young boy who was suffering from an extrarenal rhabdoid tumor. Unfortunately, Ty lost his battle with the disease last October, but the Rams still fight on in his memory. Seniors Vincent Antonozzi and Thomas Fisher have taken over the reins of the Fordham Uplifting Athlete chapter and look to be even more successful this year. After raising just over $4,000 their first year, the goal for the second year is to come up with $10,000, and they have plans for various fundraisers throughout the year, as well as t-shirt sales that will help them reach that goal. Following the Lift for Life fundraiser, we caught up with Andrew Milmore, who currently works for the Uplifting Athletes organization in Pennsylvania, along with senior Thomas Fisher, one of the leaders of Fordham's chapter for 2013-2014. Okay, Andrew, after starting the chapter here at Fordham this year, you've gone on to bigger and better things. What are you up to now?
I now work at Uplifting Athletes headquarters in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So I sort of took what I was able to learn here through my experience as an Uplifting Athletes officer, and now I apply that to all the different chapters that I work with. Now I'm coming back to Fordham, making sure their lift goes smoothly. I do a lot of different things at the office. It's a small office, so we're all really busy. It's been a good experience.
Now explain a little bit about Uplifting Athletes. What do they do?
Uplifting Athletes is a national organization that aligns college football with rare disease research. So at Fordham, we aligned our fundraising efforts through a little boy named Ty Campbell, who we adopted and had a rare form of pediatric brain cancer. And the idea behind rare diseases is they're so hugely underfunded and unnoticed, but there's 7,000 rare diseases in the country, each one affecting less than 200,000 people to qualify as a rare disease. So that doesn't really sound like that many people, but then collectively that's 30 million Americans that are affected with these diseases that don't really have the same treatment options as more common diseases. So that's the mission of Uplifting Athletes, is to, through college football and the resources available to us, affect such a maligned group of society.
Now, currently, how many chapters are there in the country?
There's 21 different chapters all across Division I sports. There's the biggest chapter we have in the first chapter is Penn State. Then Nebraska, Notre Dame, Wisconsin just started a chapter, Oklahoma, Baylor, and then some schools like Fordham, Fordham, Colgate, Princeton, Harvard, schools like that. That's the dynamic that we usually recruit.
Now, as the president last year, you had a pretty successful first year. How much did you end up raising for the year?
We raised close to $5,000 my year, and then the goal for the whole year for this year is $10,000. Right now they're at about $3,000 through this event and through some of the stuff last year. So the goal is $10,000 for a second year to school, and then from there, you just like to keep increasing as you go, get more and more people involved, and just generate as much money as we can.
Great. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks.
Okay, Tom, you took over the Uplifting Athletes chapter this year. What was your decision to take over?
Well, Andrew, who was president last year, he's one of my best friends, and I sort of got to see a lot of the stuff that he was doing, and the more I looked into it, the more enthusiastic I got about it. And I saw the effort that he put into it and the effects that came with that. And by the end of the year, I really saw how far pretty much one guy got with raising money for the pediatric brain cancer. And so I figured that it would be cool for me to just pick up where he left off, and sort of get a couple couple other guys involved as well, and kind of multiply his efforts and hopefully take huge strides, because I think that's a really good cause, and the whole MO of Uplifting Athletes is something really special.
What are some of your goals this year for the chapter?
Well, last year Andrew and James and Dan Avedizian, they raised about $3,000, and with this year and the lessons that we learned from the first year that Fordham was a part of Uplifting Athletes, our goal this year is to raise over $10,000, and that's a completely realistic goal, considering we have more guys involved, and Vincent and I, we went to a leadership retreat in Harrisburg with Uplifting Athletes, and it was a really helpful. They give us several really helpful seminars on how to fundraise and stuff. So we're planning on after this, we're sort of laying the foundation right now with our first Live for Life, and we sort of have some really cool T-shirt designs in the work, and then we plan on doing some points pledges for games and stuff like that. Hopefully we can raise a lot of money throughout the entire fall.
Great, thanks, Tom.
Okay, thank you.